मैं तो एग्जिट करके ही रखा है. Well, hello and welcome back to the Third Man's Cricket Show. It's been a long time since we all met. But firstly, before starting, just a word to our viewers. IPL has been suspended, as we all know, and we all know the reason why IPL has been suspended, and it is because of the COVID crisis that is going on in India. And a humble request from all of us to kindly wear your masks and stay home, stay safe. But let's begin our show today. The reason why we are here. Just yesterday, India announced its World Test Championship final. The squad which is going to Southampton to play the inaugural finals of the World Test Championship. Let's welcome our experts today. We have Amogh and Abhinav with us. Hi Amogh, hi Abhinav, how are you?
Hello. Fine.
Hi.
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Hi, Amogh. Hope
Are you guys
doing pretty well?
Are you guys
Yes,
excited?
yes.
You know, the finals is really close. It's just over a month left for the finals. Are you guys excited for the much awaited finals, India versus New Zealand?
Yes, very much excited. And I guess this news was needed after the IPL got suspended. So we were pretty much sad after we heard that news. But now the squad that has been declared and the match starts from 18th of June. So yeah, very excited.
Yeah,
And
man, can't
Abhinav,
wait.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the final, man. I mean, more than the IPL, I was very excited for this. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Test cricket, man. I can give up anything to watch 5 days of Test cricket. So, and India playing in the final for that championship couldn't get any bigger.
Yeah, Abhinav, I totally agree with you. You know, Test cricket is the real form of cricket. Cricket was born with the Test format, and ODI and T20 later developed. But yes, we all are excited. You know, IPL ban, IPL suspend ho chuka hai, and no cricket action is going on. And some good news for us. Chalo, World Test Championship finals hai. But a worrying thing for the Indian team, which I feel right now, is that New Zealand is playing two tests in England right now in the start of June. So will that be a worrying concern for India going into the finals?
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, they surely will have upper hand. I mean, they'll be used to the conditions playing those two games versus England, and they'll be playing against a top side. I mean, England are very hard to beat, so they'll get used to the atmosphere of winning big games. So I think yes, they'll have upper hand, but. I mean, we can't write India off, man. The way we have performed in this World Test Championship is unbelievable, and New Zealand will be on the back foot. I feel. I mean, they won't be taking India lightly, and nor will India take New Zealand lightly. It's going to be a great final.
And Amogh, what are your views?
I think New Zealand will be well prepared with the two tests that they are playing. And I also feel that New Zealand are used to playing on the kind of pitches that usually are. There's not much of difference. England, New Zealand, they are both bouncy, swinging conditions. So I think they do have a bit of an advantage. But as Abhinav said, I agree completely that no one in the world can take India lightly, not just New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be well prepared. Actually, that's why I think they have planned the two tests just before the World Test Championship final to be well prepared for India. But yeah, they'll be well prepared for sure, but not taking India lightly. No.
Definitely, Ronak over here mentions bleed blue. Yes, we all want the blue flag, the blue jersey. I mean, of course, they will be wearing whites, but we often say the blue army. Bleed blue is our slogan when it comes to the Indian matches. But yes, Amog, you rightly mentioned that the conditions in New Zealand and England are slightly similar, and not to forget the way India lost the series when they played New Zealand. But yes, you can never write India off, especially after what has happened in Australia, or the way India played. That was just India showed that it doesn't matter whether we are home or whether we are away. Every game is same to us. It doesn't matter which ground we are playing. All we want is a win. And it was a very roller coaster right towards the end of the World Test Championship. In the end, it resulted just 4 points. The 4 points which were deducted for Australia's overrun rate, that costed them the place in the World Test Championship final. So, just tell us, Amog, first you go first. Just tell us your views towards the entire India Australia series, and then the India England series. What was going in your mind about the qualification scenarios of all the teams for the final spot?
Not much about the qualification scenarios, to be precise, but I think the way we played and the kind of result that we got in Australia, it was a complete team effort, and it was like towards the last two test matches, or last three test matches to be precise. First, the captain went home after the first test that we lost pretty badly. Then there were players that were getting injured regularly, and in the last test, I remember the most experienced bowler we had played just two tests for India, and he was Mohammad Siraj. So I think the way we played there, we had a new hero. We discovered a new hero every session, I would say. You can't count the names on fingers. Ajinkya Rahane stepped up in Melbourne, hit that brilliant century, just after we had lost the game in Adelaide. So I think it was a brilliant win, and I don't think there was much playing on the minds of the players about the qualification, because I think if we played well and if we won, then we were always going to qualify. That's something we always knew. So I don't think there was much going on about the qualification, but yeah, the way we played is absolute teamwork. I mean, there was there was just not one person who took us through. We discovered new
It was
heroes
a
in
whole
every
team
session.
effort. It was a whole team effort. Every
Completely.
single person contributed in the wins, whether it was Australia, whether
And
it was in
just to add, Parth, and if you see that, barring that 1 hour of cricket, the session in Adelaide, where we, for 45 minutes
36.
we did bat
Yeah.
well, yeah. So if you remove that, then clearly India had the upper hand in all the four games, I'll say. So
Definitely. And Omkar over here mentioned 2nd June might be a bit late. Yes, the Indian team is traveling to England on 2nd June. And Omkar, I agree with what you have written that yes, 2nd June might be a bit late. Do you think that India should go a little bit early, since they have announced the squad just yesterday, and we still have a good whole around 40 days remaining for the finals? So, Abhinav, do you think that India should go early? And as Sanmay had mentioned, I read the comment of Sanmay that India can go early and play a few practice matches as well. So, your views on that, Abhinav?
Well, if you see, I guess it's a case of the bio bubble. Even if we go there, getting practice games against a county side, say for an Essex or a Sussex or a Nottinghamshire, something like that. But I don't think that will be possible since we had an outbreak in our own league. I don't think BCCI will take that chance once again. The players' safety comes first, and if you see over the past year or so, all these players have been in a bio bubble. So just to give them some more time, say a week extra or something like that, with respect along with the families at home, I guess that's a good thing for the players. And if you see, if we leave for the on 20 seconds, we still have to quarantine there for, I guess, for a couple of
10
weeks.
days.
So yeah,
10 days.
10 days. So we still get 8 to 10 days of practice, proper practice. So I don't think BCCI are wrong there to sending a team just 3 weeks before the championship final.
And Amog, do you agree to what Abhinav says, or you have some other views?
No, no, I completely agree to what he's saying, because the bio bubble fatigue also comes into play some or the other time. It's not easy to remain in that, a bio bubble for a year. They have been doing that almost since a year now, from the time they were in the UAE to play the IPL. So I think it will play on their minds, and it's actually okay that they're traveling on the second, because as Abhinav mentioned, it will be tough to get a practice game with the county sides, because there is a county league going on right now in England. So I think they cannot leave their tournament and just play a practice game with our side. So that is another factor. But I think if there was an option given, the BCCI would have sent them pretty earlier. So I think they are trying
One
their best
thing
that they can do.
Yeah, one thing which can be done is, see, I guess we are sending, I guess, 20 to 22 players on the tour along with four extra bowlers. So we can have a practice game among ourselves, a 13-a-side game or something like that, where, every batsman gets to bat for both the sides. Every bowler, gets to bowl in different phases, different situations. So I guess that could be one option which BCCI will consider. I think this will happen because we have seen this in the past as well. Two India A, India one, and India two teams playing against each other. So I guess this last happened in the during the last 2018 England tour as well. So I guess this is on cards again.
Yes, definitely. And Abhinav Omkar also agrees to what you say. He mentioned in the comments that India should play an intra-squad match with the
Yeah.
Duke ball, especially in India we play with the SG ball, but going over there we'll be having the Duke ball. So do you think this ball change will again hamper the Indian bowlers a bit?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Both of you, Abhinav or Amog.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you see the Duke ball, swings a lot. I mean, if you want to, see that high level of Test cricket, then it's England on a cloudy morning with the Duke's ball. It can't get any tougher for the batsman, and it can't get any exciting for the bowlers. So I guess yes, the Duke's ball is a challenge facing England in England with James Anderson, the likes of Chris Woke, Stuart Broad, having that red dark cherry in their hand on a cloudy morning. So yeah, I mean it's a bit of a challenge, but we'll have to get used to it, because we are playing five test matches there again. So and before that we are playing the important championship final. So and even if you see the New Zealand troubled us with the swing bowling where we lost 2-0 in New Zealand. So I guess yes, the team will be practicing that we need to get adjusted with the Duke's ball first, like we did in Australia. We adjusted quite well against the Kookaburra Cherry. So I don't think that's much of a concern. But yeah,
And to be very honest, our pacers are, well equipped enough, they're talented enough. And for me, if you ask me personally, I don't see any difference between the two pace attacks. When you consider New Zealand, you have Saudi, and you have Saudi bowled Wagner, and now Jamieson is there. And we have our own core back in the squad. Shami is back in the squad. Umesh Yadav, after the injury which he had in the second match, if I'm not wrong, second or third match, he had a small injury, and he had Umesh Yadav is back. Jasprit Bumrah, he's also back. After that elementary strain which he had, abdomen strain which he had gotten while playing against England. So even Ishan Sharma, of course, Ishan Sharma is also our core pace attack is also back. And a couple of years ago we were all talking that. Indian pace attack, the way Indian pace attack has evolved under the captaincy of Virat Kohli, it is one of the most lethal pace bowling attacks in the present world. So talk to us, Amog. Tell us about the pace matchup between the two teams.
Well, it's obviously going to be a lot of fun watching the pace attacks of both the teams, because we have heard from almost every captain that plays Test cricket that to win a Test match, the most important thing is you have to get 20 wickets. You can score 500 and 600 runs, but if you cannot get 20 wickets, then the game is still going to end in a draw. So I think the way our Test bowlers have developed from the Australia tour, I think it's really very heartening to watch. And I think it's also because of Virat Kohli's captaincy, because he leads with a very aggressive nature that he's never, you never see him with a defensive mindset, that he's always out there to take wickets. So I think that will really help, because as I said, you need to get 20 wickets however. So I think it's really very heartening, and it will really be a good battle to watch the likes of Trent Bolt and Jamieson go against Bumrah and our
Definitely, definitely. And
bowlers.
we have a lot of time to discuss the squad which the Indian team has selected. But before that, I would like to tell our viewers that since IPL has been suspended, we are coming up with a new feature. We are coming up with a new part in our third man's cricket show, which is we will be bringing experts and will be famous personalities, famous experts from the field of cricket, and they will be coming on our show and talking about stuff. So it is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of engagement is going to be there, and you're going to meet a lot of new experts, a lot of people who you already know. So keep following us on the Third Man's Cricket Show. For we have a lot of entertaining content ahead of you.
unless you're not grounded, जिंदगी में जो भी आप पालें तो उसका मजा आपको कभी पूरा मिलने वाला है नहीं. लोग आपकी पूरी कदर कभी करेंगे नहीं.
Surely that was a small teaser for all our viewers to get an idea of what's going to come in the coming few weeks. But now let's discuss the Indian squad. Okay, so we announced the squad just yesterday, and as you can all see, the squad is over here, downside. So I'll just mention the squad which the Indian team has announced. It's Virat Kohli, Ajinkya Rahane, Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Mayank Agarwal, Cheteshwar Pujara, Hanuma Bihari, Rishabh Pant, Ravichandran Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, Jasprit Bumrah, Ishant Sharma, Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, Shardul Thakur, Umesh Yadav, KL Rahul, Vridhiman Saha, and the four standby players that we are having are Abhimanyu Eswaran, Prasidh Krishna, Azran Nagwaswala, and Avesh Khan. So first of all, your views, Abhinav, you go first. What are your views on the squad that Indian team has selected?
Well, I guess this is the best squad we could have decided. And apart from it, there's just one concern. I would have liked Prithvi Shaw in place of KL Rahul. I mean, yes, KL Rahul is a better established batsman, but if you're backing Prithvi Shaw for the future, since KL Rahul did play, I guess, 36 test matches already, and he hasn't, cemented his spot at the top of the order, because obviously you see him as an opener in the test format. So if you, even after 36 games, if you can't, cement your spot, I guess then Prithvi Shaw should have been in the squad. But I guess KL Rahul is going as a backup opener. I don't think he's the first choice opener there. Even though he scored runs in England, he had a rough patch after 2018. So.
And not to mention, in Indian team has quite a few openers. But Amogh, what are your views on this particular squad which the Indian team has selected?
Very happy. I think it's a very good squad. As Abhinav mentioned, this is the best squad that we could send for a World Test Championship final to be held. So I think it's pretty balanced. We have every compartment, every department filled in there. I don't think there's a concern or there's any loophole in the side as such. So I think all the Indians will be pretty happy.
All the I'll tell you one thing. Everyone will be happy apart from the selection committee, the team management, if I'm not as if I may say, because they are going to have a big headache. It's a star-studded lineup, and it will be a really hard job to select the playing 11. But first of all, let's talk about our batsmen. Okay, so in the batting department, we have
Parth,
Rohit.
if I can say something,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
go on, go on, go on.
I think it is a bit of a good thing for the management, at least better than what we had in Australia, because it is a good headache to have when you have so many good players and you have to choose from them, as compared to having no players. So I think they'll be a bit happy for that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree to you. So let's talk about our batsmen. Okay, so first of all, let's go to Rohit Sharma. We'll start from the opening slot itself. So first of all, let's talk about Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma, as you can see, the stats. Of course, he has played only one game in Southampton, and he has scored 30. He scored 34 runs over there. The match he played. But the way Rohit Sharma has played in the past a couple of years, taking up the responsibility of an opener from a middle order batsman. Your words on Rohit Sharma. How crucial is Rohit Sharma for the Indian team? To give a start.
Uh,
Yeah.
Well, if you see taking from this squad, if there's any player who's gonna, it's gonna be his biggest challenge, that Rohit Sharma. He hasn't played as an opener in England, and he's coming. Yeah, he has a form alongside him, but England is a completely different challenge. You keep England aside, and you keep all the other challenges aside. So I guess it's a big test for Rohit Sharma. If he scores runs in England, then it's going to be a huge, huge positive. We have found our opener, because once an opener scores runs in England, you kind of rate him very highly. And same will be the case with the other opener. I guess it will be Shubman Gill will be opening again. People will be, thinking that he didn't perform well in the IPL, but I don't think IPL is the, a criteria. IPL performance is the criteria for the Indian 11 in the test side. So I guess Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill will be opening, and both will be. It will be a big test for both of them.
Definitely, it's not that we have it's that we have multiple matches. Just one match and two innings for you to display yourself, to showcase yourself. But Amogh, talk to us about Rohit Sharma's susceptibility with the left arm seamers.
Yes, that's a very, very good point. He has been very susceptible to the in-swinging deliveries coming in from the left arm seamers, but I'm sure that a batsman of his class must be working on that right now, because he knows what's coming on the England tracks. So, and the New Zealand bowlers do have two left arm pacers in Trent Bolt and Neil Wagner. So I think he'll be working on that, but it'll be a really good and exciting battle to watch.
Yes, of course, Trent Bolt is one of the best bowlers when it comes to any format. But Rohit Sharma will have some practice against Bolt. Playing in the IPL, both of them played for the Mumbai Indians. So Rohit Sharma would be slightly prepared when it comes to Trent Bolt. But yes, Neil Wagner is big challenge. And we all he we recently the series that New Zealand was playing. He played with a fractured leg. He was bowling with a fractured leg. That's so that is the kind of mindset that Neil Wagner has, and he's really going to be a really tough challenge for Indian batsmen, especially the openers. But from one opener, let's come to another opener. Abhinav mentioned that Shubman Gill should open alongside Rohit Sharma. Amogh, do you think that Shubman Gill is the right choice to go as an opener in this particular game?
Yes, 100%. I think he has to open with Rohit Sharma, because see, it's true that he has not played in England till now. No, from the Indian side, he has stood with the under 19 side. But it's true that he's not played a game for India in England. But I think there has to be a first time. He had not played in Australia too, but we gave him a chance and we saw what he did in Australia, right? So I think there has to be a first chance now, or whenever you give him that. But I think he's the perfect choice to open with Rohit Sharma. He'll be pretty high on confidence.
Yes, Shubman Gill was actually good against Australia, but then in the series against England and again in the IPL, we didn't see that spark in Shubman Gill. And over here, Ronak rightly mentions that Mayank was dropped after first test, and he was our highest run scorer in the test series prior to that for 18 to 20 months. And yes, even Mayank Agarwal is a good choice for opening combination. He made his debut against Australia itself, and he was very instrumental in that win in 2018 against Australia. So Abhinav, do you think that even India should think of Mayank Agarwal as also for the opening slot, and not just completely focus their attention on Shubman Gill?
Well, if you see, we have got 5 games there, right, in England, and the history says that we have gone with at least 3 openers in our squad, and one of them definitely struggles. It can we saw it with Shikhar Dhawan and Gautam Gambhir in 2014, I guess, and then where Abhinav Mukund replaced him. And he had he scored, I guess, 50 or something in the game he came in. Then in the previous tour as well, we saw Shikhar Dhawan getting dropped. So yeah, England is a place where you need backup openers. I mean, because the toughest time to bat in England is the first session of any test match. The ball swings at every venue. So I don't think Gill will be getting all the 5 games if he fails in a couple of games or 3 games. Definitely, one of the backup openers will get a chance. It can be a KL Rahul or a Mayank Agarwal.
Definitely. And speaking of KL Rahul, KL Rahul, he's not yet completely fixed as a member of the squad, but he's subject to fitness. But KL Rahul had a brilliant series last time when he played in England. Of course, he's as you can see on the screen, his stats were not that great in Southampton. He just scored 19 runs in that game. But still, the series that KL Rahul had, I remember he got out on 199, or was that was it on Indian?
149.
Yeah,
149. Yeah,
was-
149. He has
yeah.
gotten out on 149 and on 199, both against England as well. But KL Rahul, if he's fit and he's going through a good run, in the ODIs he played well, in the T20, in the IPL also he's batting decent, way better than how he was against England at the start of the series. But do you think that KL Rahul also should be? He has experience. KL Rahul has good amount of experience in Test cricket right now, and he is one of the most experienced openers. If you consider Shubman Gill and Mayank Agarwal, they both haven't played in England as of now. But KL Rahul has, and he had a phenomenal series. So should KL Rahul also be, cemented as an opener? I'm using a strong word over here, cemented. But
No,
do you think
exactly. Not, I would say not cemented. No way.
Yeah.
You cannot cement anyone as an opener in England. That's not possible. But I think he will be considered if he is there with the squad. Obviously, he is there to be considered. They would not name him in the squad just like this. But I think, look, personally, if I tell you, I am a big believer in the fact that current form needs to be taken into consideration. A player can have performed in 2018 test matches or 2019, but right now we are in 2021, right? And Shubman Gill is in the form of his life in test matches, if I tell you. So
Yeah.
I think we need to go ahead with Shubman Gill at least for the World Test Championship final and one England series game, if I'm not wrong. And then if still he's not performing, then there can be a Mayank Agarwal or a KL Rahul who can come into the picture. But first we need to give priority to the players who are in good form.
Yeah, I agree with Amogh there, and I guess why BCCI will be sticking with Shubman Gill is because of the approach he adopted.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
He's a very
Yeah.
young player, and he the way he times the ball is just beautiful. But
Yeah.
we're talking about KL Rahul. KL Rahul is still subject to fitness matters. He is not yet completely fit,
Yeah.
and only
Right.
if he passes the fitness test, he will be flying to Southampton. But I mentioned the word cemented. But one player is surely cemented in the Indian team, which is our number 3 batsman, one of the most dependable batsmen of our team. It's Cheteshwar Pujara, the modern day wall, as we say. And what a match he had in Southampton when we last played England. He scored 163 runs. He has scored 163 runs in 2 matches. He has one century over there as well. Not the kind of series he hoped when he played against England, but even against Australia, he was very good. There were times when he took up the responsibility and stayed on the crease, and he was hit so many times on the on his body
Yeah.
in the match against Sydney, and also in the last match at the Gabba. So how crucial Cheteshwar Pujara's role for India lifting the trophy, in my opinion, is very crucial. The way he bats. What are your views on Cheteshwar Pujara? Amog, you go first.
Exactly. You just mentioned the word correctly. I mean, the way he bats. You cannot tell Cheteshwar Pujara to bat like someone like Rishabh Pant, because he simply cannot do it. The strength of his is the way he bats. He can just, stay there, make the bowlers tired. There was a series in which they mentioned that every time a fast bowler bowls, 15 to 20 times of his body weight goes down his legs. So I think it's really, really tough for a fast bowler to bowl to Pujara when he's at his prime form, because he really has the ability to tire the bowlers down, to wear them down. And then players like Rishabh Pant can come in and just play the way they do, and just quick runs will come for the team. So I think the big strength is that he should be allowed to play the way he does normally. People speak a lot about his strike rate, that अरे यार 50 बॉल खेला है सिर्फ 10 रन बनाया है, but I think the way he tires the bowlers down is more important, because the test format is not very easy to play. So I think the big strength is the way he bats, as you correctly mentioned. Very, very big asset for the side.
And
Also,
I don't. Yeah, Abhinav, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that if you see the previous inning which Cheteshwar Pujara played, the Gabba one, not enough credit is given to Cheteshwar Pujara's innings. I mean, he literally fought his innings to stay at the crease in the first session. He could have got out in the first session in the first couple of hours to Pat Cummins or a bouncer, or he could have nicked it to the slip cordon, but he didn't. He stuck in there. He got the body blows. I guess 14 body blows he got in a single session. And had he got out in that first session, you never know. We wouldn't have won that game, because it was a big task to negotiate that opening Pat Cummins spell.
Yeah, definitely. I was about to say the same thing itself, that, I never have, criticized. I don't see Cheteshwar Pujara's strike rate as a topic of criticism, because he bat. See, of course, yeah, his strike rate is always on the lower side. But, in such situations, as you rightly mentioned, the Gaba breach, Shubman Gill got out on 91, if I'm not wrong. And after that, we needed someone, who can stay for quite some time and, at least take the match ahead. And at least, if not a win, we can at least settle for a draw. And Cheteshwar Pujara rightly did that. And, the way he played, the way he stayed on the pitch, that also gave Rishabh Pant a little bit confidence that मैं भी मार सकता हूँ ball. ये एक बंदा यहाँ पे खड़ा है, so I can also for starting of the innings which Rishabh Pant played, he was not going for much of runs. He was playing calmly, but once when he saw that Pujara का एकदम cement होके खेल रहा है, टुक कर रहा है आराम से, Rishabh Pant also started to hit the ball. And when Pujara got out, then it was Washington Sundar who had a small cameo. And in the end, of course, yes, as we were discussing about Cheteshwar Pujara,
अब तो क्या बोलते हैं, IPL कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी मिल गया यार बेचारे को. अभी तो मत करो ऐसा.
Yeah, exactly. He is in the Chennai Super Kings team for 50 lakhs, if I'm not wrong. But yes, we love Cheteshwar Pujara so much, and he is one of the most dependable batsmen of our team. But from one dependable batsman, let's move to another dependable batsman, about whom I'm seeing a lot of comments over here, and that is Ajinkya Rahane. He's our vice captain, but he is not being that consistent. But yet, when you see his stats in Southampton, in 2 games he scored 168 runs, and out of which 54 was his highest. He has 350s in 4 innings that he has played over there. And I really think that Ajinkya Rahane needs to fire. So your views on Ajinkya Rahane?
Well, I guess his consistency is very important. One aspect which we all cricket fans are very desperate to see is Ajinkya Rahane being consistent. Yes, he gets that 80, 90 or 100 odd in 3 to 4 games, but that won't be enough, since considering that he's the vice captain. Ajinkya Rahane और Cheteshwar Pujara, ये दोनों पे बहुत डिपेंड करने वाला है, because first session of any game against England in England is the most important session. You lose wickets there, the game doesn't go till the 5th day or the 4th day, even the 4th day. So I guess Rahane और Pujara, ये दोनों का role बहुत important है. Rahane, Kohli and Pujara, these three are the backbone of Indian cricket, Indian middle order, and especially in conditions like England. So Rahane ka consistency, this is the best time to to come good.
Definitely, Rahane needs to fire. And I saw an interesting comment by Ronak Kedia over here. He mentioned that should India consider, is it best time to try Rahane as an opener in the England series, as with Rohit Sharma, as Rahane is, he plays swing a lot better. So do you think that this is a valid headache for the Indian management, or is Rahane fit at number 5?
No, I think the Indian management already has a lot of headache. They would not like to add to that, but I think Ajinkya Rahane has cemented his place at number five. And also another big positive we have about Ajinkya Rahane is his fielding in the slips. He hardly drops a catch when he fields in the slips. He fields at the gully position. So I think he is, as we rightly mentioned, as Abhinav rightly mentioned, he needs to get a bit on with his consistency. But I think he is still a very good and integral part of the side because of the way he feels. So his batting needs to be a bit more consistent. I'm sure he'll be working on that, but he's still a very integral part of the side.
And oh yes, definitely. Ajinkya Rahane and Cheteshwar Pujara, they are one of the most senior members of our team, and a lot depends on how they bat in the game. But let's talk about our middle order, especially of course Ajinkya Rahane is also a middle order batsman. But let's talk about our middle order. Virat Kohli, the Rishabh Pant is there, Hanuma Vihari is also back in the squad, and we also have you see Virat Kohli's stats. In 2 games he has 171 runs, and he has a 50, and yes, even he had a brilliant series last time when we played in England. His battle with James Anderson was amazing. But talks on middle order, how crucial is the middle order? How much does Indian team depend on the middle order to score runs in any of the games?
Yeah, very, very important. The middle order will decide our fate of the World Test Championship as well as the England series. We can lose the series 3-0, 4-0, but if that middle order, fires in the first game itself, I guess that will be a big boost for the entire batting order. So I guess, like I mentioned before, the middle order has to stay there on the crease. Otherwise, the game isn't. Every test match won't last till the fifth day, and we need test matches to last till the fifth day, especially in England. We want to see good cricket, man. So that is only possible if the middle order fires.
Definitely, and I have seen this trend recently, which is going on in Test cricket. Even if openers are failing, even if the openers are getting out within 50 or 60 odd runs, but if the middle order, the four middle order batsmen, three, four, five, and six, if these players are hitting runs, then the team is getting to a good total, no matter how much the openers are scoring. I remember a recent game, New Zealand versus Pakistan. The New Zealand openers, they got out very cheaply, and the middle order, the four batsmen, they contributed over 300 runs in that game in one innings. So that's the role of middle order, which is developing nowadays into Test cricket. But with the middle order, even the lower middle order is also very important, and we have good lower middle order batsmen. We have Ravichandran Ashwin, even now Aksar Patel is evolving as a new player for our team. We have Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur. All these apart from Ashwin, all these guys have been bought in within a span of last 2 3 3 4 months. How crucial are these new players for India, for the Indian team?
Very
Uh,
crucial.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, very crucial. I think. Look, you mentioned the openers, you mentioned the middle order, but I think if the middle order batsmen get out when the score is around 200, I think the lower middle order of ours has the ability to push the score till 300, 350, which is a big positive in pitches like England. So I think the lower middle order will be of great importance. They have delivered in Australia again, if we bring our attention to that fact. And yeah, the ability that Ravichandran Ashwin has or Ravindra Jadeja has with the ball as well as the bat, they are a big asset to the side. I mean, Ravindra Jadeja ki to baat hi mat karo, yaar. His fielding is also top. So I think it's really very important for all the three compartments to fire. They won't together, obviously, but at least for one or two of them to keep firing. But yeah, the lower middle order has shown a lot of trust, and we just hope that they continue to.
Especially lower middle order, we Washington Sundar has been really instrumental for the Indian team. And you were mentioning about Australia, that partnership between Washington Sundar and Shardul Thakur, 120 odd runs का partnership जो था उनके बीच में, that was a very vital partnership for our win in Australia. And yes, lower middle order, the lower middle order which the Indian team has right now, they have the ability to score 100 plus runs even when the team is faltering. So yes, but even wahan pe bhi selection karna is again a very tough job. But let's talk about our pace attack, especially. We are all fond of the way the bowlers, the pace attack has developed, and a lot of credit is given to Virat Kohli. His captaincy, that the way he has developed the Indian pace attack. And as you can see, the stats of Mohammad Shami over here, one game and he took up 7 wickets in that game against Southampton. And Mohammad Shami is back after the injury which he had. So how talk to us about the beautiful pace lineup which we have. Abhinav, you go first.
Yeah, this is the best attack we have got so far. I mean, yes, Mohammad Siraj has been along with the squad. We saw Navdeep Saini come in. We saw Deepak Chahar come in with the squad. But I guess this is the best pace attack, especially in English conditions. If you see in the 2014 tour, we took Pankaj Singh as a bowler along with us based on his pace. But I don't think that was required. But I guess Mohammad Siraj is the perfect guy to be the third seamer. Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, or Ishant Sharma, along with Jasprit Bumrah, and the third seamer has to be Mohammad Siraj based on his performances in the recent past. And yes, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar was a bit unlucky, to not make this side. But I guess it's a fitness issue, not an issue of his performances. So I guess Bhuvaneshwar Kumar will be back soon in the squad because we are going with Umesh Yadav as a backup seamer as well. I guess Bhuvaneshwar Kumar would have been there in place of Umesh Yadav had he been fit.
Definitely, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the last time when he played in England, he was instrumental both with the bat and with the ball and the bat as well. He was contributing a few runs with the bat as well. So yes, absence of Bhuvi is going to hurt the Indian team a little bit. But as Abhinav rightly mentioned, that yes, we have Umesh Yadav is also there. We have 5 pacers which are going, and even Shardul Thakur is also there as another all-rounder option. But Amogh, tell us about absence of even Hardik Pandya. He was there in the squad against England, but now he is omitted for this particular match. So is it because of the bowling concerns of Hardik Pandya, or why has he been omitted from the squad?
Yes, I do feel it is because of the bowling concerns, and I also guess that they are working on getting him back to bowl, and they are just trying to manage his workload because he's a very integral part of the T20 side with the T20 World Cup coming up in August, September. I think it's really very important for the Indian side to have Hardik Pandya in the team. So I think they are managing his workload plus, working on him to getting him bowl. We all know what he can do with the bat, but he can also give some important overs in the, T20 format. Kept aside, I think Bhuvi will be missed. Like every other Indian fan, I personally would have loved to see Bhuvi in this side, especially because it is swinging conditions of England, and there's no other better person who can swing the ball better than Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. So I think we all will miss him. But as Abhinav rightly mentioned, it is a fitness issue. I don't think there's anything wrong with his bowling. So yeah, pretty good attack. Looking forward to take 20 wickets in every game.
Definitely, Sunil Gavaskar often mentions that if you bat 4 sessions and if you take 20 wickets, then you are the favorites to win a test match. But the Indian team has time and again showed us that even if the big names are not in the team, if they're not playing on the field, we still have the winning intent. We have won matches without the likes of Bumrah and Shami. We have won matches without Virat. We won a series without Virat Kohli. So that speaks how much strong the Indian team is. And yes, of course, absence of Bhuvi is going to hurt. But I'm sure that Indian team will perform very beautifully. But as we are about to come to an end, I know we have a lot of things to discuss. But as we are about to come to an end to the session quickly, let's discuss the playing 11 very quickly. Who would you go with the opening slot, Amogh?
Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill to start with.
Abhinav, you agree with
Likewise,
the same thing?
same. Rohit and Shubman.
And I don't think so. We need to talk about number 3 or number 4, number 3 and 4. It's a fix,
Even the fifth, 3, 4, 5.
Even 5th.
3,
Yes,
4, 5.
Ajinkya Rahane is our number 5 batsman, and yes, he has a very crucial role to play. But who will be the number 6 batsman? Hanuma Vihari is also there. Will you have your wicketkeeper batsman at number 6, or will you have an all-rounder or Hanuma Vihari? Who should be at number 6?
I think it is. Yeah, Abhinav, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take Rishabh Pant, man. Rishabh Pant is capable enough now to bat at 6. So and with the performance he put in the last series, I guess Rishabh Pant is a no-brainer.
Rishabh Pant at number 6, and Amok, do you agree with Rishabh Pant's position at
Yes,
number
yes, yes.
6?
I do agree, and I think it will also depend a lot on what kind of pitch we get, because pitches in
Yeah.
Southampton are known to spin from the mid of
Yes,
the
yes,
Test game. So I
exactly.
think it will depend on the pitch, and also another factor is that Hanuma Vihari is playing the county championship, so that can be brought to advantage here, the experience that he gets. So I think it can be Vihari at 6 if we get that kind of a pitch, but otherwise I think I agree with Abhinav. Rishabh Pant takes the slot.
Rishabh Pant takes the number 6 slot. Now, number 7. Do you want to go with two spinners? Because yes, spin
Yes,
will come into hand. So both of you agree with two spinners. So number
Yeah.
7
yes.
and number 8. One of the spinner definitely will be Ravichandran Ashwin. Who will be the second spinner? Will it be Washington Sundar? Will it be Ravindra Jadeja? Will it be Akshar Patel?
Yes,
Who is
Jade-
that player
I
for
would
you?
I would
Jadeja,
go with
Jadeja
Jadeja.
any day. Jadeja
Jadeja.
any day.
Because
Yes.
because
Jadeja at 7,
because
Ashwin
I
at 8.
think yeah, because I think Jadeja is not someone we can call just a pure spinner. He's, I mean, we don't need to discuss about him. We all know what
He's
he is.
everywhere on the
So
field, be
yeah,
it
he's
batting, be it
everything.
bowling, be it fielding. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
So
He's
Ravindra
everything.
Jadeja. So we have our 8 players now coming to the pace attack, which is actually a big headache because all the pacers that we have are really good. Do you think that Shardul Thakur or Mohammad Siraj will come into the team, or will India go with the traditional pace lineup which they always have? Who will be your number 9, number 10, and number 11 player?
I think number 11 is fixed with Jasprit Bumrah. And I don't think that Shardul Thakur will make a place, because there are already a lot of batting all-rounders in Ravindra Jadeja, Ashwin, and the lower batting order is quite settled. I think it will be among Ishan Sharma, Shami, and Mohammad Siraj. Out of the two slots remaining, I think two out of these three will go ahead, because Jasprit Bumrah is cemented, I guess. I'm sure. I mean, I'm not guessing.
I personally would want Ishan Sharma to be in the playing 11, considering the amount of experience he has had and the way he has
Exactly.
always been playing against for the Indian team. Abhinav, last quickly before we wrap up, who would be your 3 pacers?
Mohammad Shami, Jasprit Bumrah, and I'll go with Mohammad Siraj. I mean, I'm very impressed with the lad, the way he performed in the IPL as well recently. And the Australia series is after the Australia series, he's a completely different bowler. So I'm sticking with these three.
True.
I think Ishan Sharma will miss the cut, or it will be between Ishan Sharma and Mohammad Shami.
Ronak Kedia slightly disagrees from what you said. He says that we should go with the traditional pace lineup. Even Sanchit Desai over here says that Ishan Shami, and Bumrah should be the pace lineup. Definitely it's a very big headache for the team management over here to decide the 11. But what? So are we going with? We have Jasprit Bumrah as a fixed bowler. Apart from that, which two bowlers are we going with? Shami and Siraj. Amok, do you agree with Shami and Siraj
Yeah,
in the
yeah. I
11?
think I think I agree with Abhinav. I think we need to have Siraj in the 11. Yes.
Yeah,
Siraj
it
in,
will be between Ishan Sharma and Mohammad Shami for the last pacer.
Yeah.
okay, Ishan Sharma or Mohammad Shami, but so
Yeah.
Siraj is a fixed place in the finals, in the playing 11 is what both of our experts say. So as per our experts, the playing 11 which we have formed for the match to be held in Southampton on 18 June, India will be going with Rohit Sharma, followed by Shubman Gill at number 2. Then number 3 we have Cheteshwar Pujara. Number 4 our captain Virat Kohli, on whom a lot of things depend on. Then at number 5 comes our vice captain, Ajinkya Rahane, one of the calmest person on the field. At number 6, we have our wicket keeper, who is a star in the making, Rishabh Pant. At number 7, we have one of the best fielders that India has ever produced. It's Ravindra Jadeja. At number 8, we have one of our best spinners. It is Ravichandran Ashwin. At number 9, we have Ishan Sharma. Number 10, we have either Mohammad Shami or Mohammad Siraj, but it will be one of the Mohammeds for sure. And at number 11, we have our best pacer, and that is Jasprit Bumrah. So that's all we had for you on the show. I know there's a lot of things to talk about. It's a big game, and 18th of June. Save the dates. 18th of June at Southampton, the Aegis Bowl. It's the World Test Championship Finals, and thank you all for watching. And don't forget to stay home and stay safe. Wear your mask, wear your gloves if you're going out, and don't forget to join us on the Third Man's Cricket Show We have a lot of exciting content coming up for you very shortly. We have a lot of experts lined up to come up on our show and entertain all of you guys. So just keep following the Third Match Cricket Show, and do subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you guys. This is Parth Rathor signing off.